Welcome back to Swine TV. We have some breaking news today. Farmer Grade is a new father-son pork producer initiative selling pork from the farm direct to consumers. I have Sawyer Whisler with me here today. Welcome, Sawyer.
Hey, thanks, Jim. I appreciate you having me back on. It's always a pleasure, and I'm excited to get into it.
So I know you're taking things into your own hands. You're a pork producer selling products. You've captivated the industry with This'll Do Farms and the Barn Talk podcast. You have a trusted platform and brand, and now you're going to drive pork demand through Farmer Grade. Can you tell us all about that?
Yeah, so I mean, when we first started This'll Do Farm, we were just showcasing people what we do every day as modern day hog farmers. That built into we wanted to do a podcast along with it. And as it was kind of getting built, we started to see more and more people comment, where can we buy your pork? And that kind of was a light bulb moment for me because, a lot of direct to consumer meat businesses, they focus on the claims based meat, not so much the story based meat. That's not really a market out there for direct to consumer meat. And so it was interesting to me that people wanted to still buy our pork, even though we raise it pretty conventional, because we had the story and we were just showing them what we do. And most of those direct to consumer meat businesses, they partner with farms that are just focusing on the claims of the meat, not necessarily their story as a farm. And so that's why. So that sparked the interest, and that's why we're kind of doing what we're doing with Farmer Grade. So
What's amazing about this is the vision, because over a year ago, you talked about kind of implementing this vision and now it's coming to fruition. So why are you doing this and why now for the timing?
So I've always wanted to be a business owner, and I've always wanted to do everything we can to make our farm viable for the seventh generation. And I think this kind of is the thing that's going to help with both of those goals. I think that it can help our farm, our personal family farming operation tremendously, but also when I was thinking about this idea, I thought it could be bigger than just our farm. Um, and I think the timing was just, there really wasn't a reason why we did it right now. I've been working on getting the pieces in place behind the scenes for years because it's not easy to get in the meat business. And right now is just the time that I finally had everything in place and I launched it. So that was kind of why we did it, why we're doing it right now. But two, yeah, we'll get into more of the business model in a bit. But yeah.
So currently, what are you selling? So if you go to farmergrade.com, people can buy.
Yeah. So we are selling a 10 to 11 pound pork box right now. It's our first drop and it's a pre-buy. So there's going to be only 500 boxes available. And you're going to be getting 4 pork chops, a pound of Italian sausage, a pound of breakfast sausage, around a pound of smoked bacon, around a pound of cottage bacon, which is bacon that comes from the shoulder, and then a 2 to 4 pound pork roast. And we made that box specifically that way because we had to figure out how can we use the whole pig, but also make sure that people get the same amount of pork per customer. Because you had to pick cuts that you can't take the ribs and try to sell it to 500 people because there's going to only be 200 ribs out of 50 pigs if you cut the racks in half. So you had to be pretty strategic with using the whole pig, but also making sure the customer gets all the same amount of cuts, and there's plenty of product to give in each box. So that's what's on there right now. We want to eventually do more. We'd love to offer more options like individual cuts, subscription boxes, more curated boxes. We're not opposed to doing whole pigs, half pigs, quarter pigs, but we just want to start simple first and just get our feet wet.
So start simple, have a great cut of meat, a great product, and have people connect with you and your dad because of the story and everything. So is this a business model that can sustain like a high growth potential, or is it more of a supporting type of business to your multiple ventures?
I think this can be a high growth. It has high growth potential because, like I mentioned earlier, it's bigger than just our farm. I want Farmer Grade to be known as the place where the most well-known livestock farmers that are on social media market their own meat to their audience and their consumers, doing exactly what we are doing to our audience, marketing our pork to the people that support us through our social media, but giving that opportunity to the other farmers on social media that raise cattle, that raise poultry, that raise different protein sources, pork as well. We're not opposed to signing another pork producer on. And if they have a story, they have a brand, they have an audience to market their own product to, we'd love to help them out and support them on that. And the way that it was that I thought about doing it was, we would work with them. They would bring their animal to the processing facility of our choosing. We pay full market value for it. And then on the back end, once the product is ready to be sold and shipped out, they go and they market their own product to their audience, and then they get a kickback for marketing their own product as well. So it kind of puts the power back into the American farmers' hands. They're going to get paid what it's trading on the commodity market, but also they're going to get that back end marketing fee that they can't really get at the grocery store. That they're going to be. It will help them sustain, I think, better because they can get a kickback on that end product.
Do you see this kind of driving demand for pork as a whole, or is it more kind of for smart business people like yourself to kind of help with your brand, or do you see it helping the industry?
I think it can help the whole industry. I think that the way that we can sell more pork is just have more pork producers get on social media, and I would love to partner with them. I mean, that's the biggest thing. We're not going to deviate from what makes us farmer grade. We are going to strictly only sign on farmers that are on social media. So if we want to sell more pork, we just got to get more pork producers to be on social media and build up a significant audience. And I'm also not opposed to, because we raise pigs in a hog barn, right? Pretty conventionally, but I'm not opposed to signing on farmers that want to raise pigs on pasture, because I believe that they're doing that for their best interest. Everybody wants to paint agriculture with a broad brush and say it should be all this way, but we all know, if you have any knowledge in agriculture, that just is not possible. And so I believe that the farmer knows what's best for them and what's best for their farm. And if they got a brand and they got a market for it, we'd love to be a part of it. So I think it can help sell more pork, but just sell more meat in general.
So this is a pre-order to be sent out in August. So what's the date in August, and do you ship in the US only at this time?
Yep. So we're shipping strictly in the United States. I've already gotten tons of people that have asked if you ship to Canada. I know Jim, I know you buy one too. I know you'd support, but for right now, we're just going to stay in the US. And yeah, in August is when we are going to start hand packing the order. So we're taking the pigs July 20th to the processor, American Family Butcher Shop, great people. And then we are going to, when we get that meat back, which I don't have an exact date on right now because they said it's going to take a maximum of 2 weeks to get the full processing done. And so once I know kind of more exactly when I'm going to get that meat back, then I will, have a date set up for sure, an exact date.
We were going to order, but obviously it's a US thing only. We buy from the butcher. I know there's a few local places that do this shipping, but we haven't tried that out. But when I saw this, I was like going to go right and buy it immediately because of that connection and that kind of celebrity fandom thing there, Sawyer.
Well, I appreciate that, Jim. I really do. We'll get there someday.
Is this from your farm then?
Yes. Yeah. This is from our farm. Yep. The pig. So we contract grow for an integrator. If anyone knows our channel or what we do on social media, but we're buying the pigs out of our barns that we raise, and we're taking them to. We're going to pay for the cost of hauling and then take them to our processor of our choosing. So, yeah, and if it goes well, I would love to be able to raise our own pigs independently. This gives us an option maybe in the future to do that, but it's just not at the scale yet to do that. So maybe someday.
So after the August release, what's next?
So after the August release, we are going to probably do another drop more towards the winter time, around Christmas, November. And I think with this first drop, it's told us a lot. We've already learned a lot. I think people want more variety. They love the curated box, but some people want ham, some people want ribs, some people want those kind of things. So we'd love to offer more premium cuts as individual products on top of a curated box. And so I think that's something that I want to do to pivot for next drop and make it a little bit different, is offer some of those premium cuts with a curated box to go along with it. So yeah, I think that's our next step. We're also looking to work with a beef farmer out of South Dakota. I don't want to name his name yet, but we're working on developing that relationship, and he seems to be interested. So we might get some beef by the end of the year too, to go along with our pork product.
And how will you continue to transform our industry and drive meat demand?
I think we got to just keep telling our story. We got to keep telling our story. What we have as farmers is super, super important to consumers, and it's important to America or anywhere. We got to show people what we do, and we got to accept the idea that we don't need to change the people that are always against us. We need to just show the people that are meat eaters, common meat eaters. We don't need to fight with people that don't want to eat meat or don't like our industry. We don't have to change their mind. We just have to show people that are common meat eaters what we're doing. The amount of comments that we get from people that said, man, I watched this video and it looked like these hog barns were the worst place ever. And then they watch our channel and they go, you guys do a phenomenal job. We always get the comment, that's the cleanest hog barn I've ever seen. And I've been in so many hog barns that are just like ours. It's just people's knowledge of the industry is just not out there. And we just need more people to get out there and show it. And just, here we are, this is what we do, like it. If you don't, that's okay. But I think most people, most common meat eaters, will accept it and they will support it because you're honest and upfront and you have a story. Every farm's different. Every farm has a story, and we should be utilizing that. We shouldn't shy away from it. We should be utilizing that and using it as our strength.
Yeah, you said it perfectly. Everybody has a story. Every farm has a story. Let's kind of propel that story and continue to drive demand.
100%. 100%. And yeah, just sell more pork in the United States. I think we need to do a better job of just promoting pork and promoting the consumption of pork. And I think with barbecue culture and, you know, everybody's got a Traeger nowadays, everybody's got a grill, and there's a ton of content creators on social media promoting the consumption of pork. And that's what we need. We need more of that. We need to get people that create content making pork recipes, as much pork as they possibly want, so that they can show people recipes and people will buy more pork.
Well, congratulations, Sawyer. Thanks for joining us today.
Well, I appreciate it, Jim. Thank you for having me on, and it's been a pleasure.
And visit farmergrade.com.